Welcome to 108 Gate. We are doing the Divine Feminine reading with Heart Chakra tuning fork and getting straight into it. If you do not want to listen to the tuning fork, then you can mute now, and then when I go to take the cards, you'll know that we've started the reading. So for those of you who are ready, tuning fork, here we go. So there is a definite feeling of wanting to move on from things, wanting to proceed, progress, allowing what has been to be in another space, in another time, and just go into the next steps. The thing with this is it's there's certain knots and attachments to those deeper emotions, which we're not surprised about really, because this has been coming up in the last few days about how when we're pushing forward and we want to move forward, it's all well and good, yet there's still certain things we're entangled with, there's still certain things we're knotted with. So instead of worrying about it or trying to push self away from it, is kind of sitting with it and then processing it and allowing it to kind of evaporate and dispel it, rather than push it or force it away, because the forcing is just going to make the knot stronger. It's going to make it more difficult, because essentially if you're knotted to something, it's just going to make the knot strong, like tighter. So it's about sitting with it, feeling those knots and understanding how to come out of that space. So insight, the answers are there for those who look. So again, it's some of the things that we've been avoiding, and this is why we have to be able to look at what's actually keeping us stuck, looking at what's keeping us tied up and locked up in certain situations, thought patterns. A lot of this does feel like it's subconscious. So having said that, it's around the heart chakra, so it's appropriate that it's the heart chakra, because it's these emotions that have been locked and stuck in the subconscious that we just can't access. We don't want to face it, we don't want to look at it. It's just so painful and raw for some of you, and it's not the easiest thing to look at, yet at the same time I think a lot of you may benefit from seeing how far you've come, seeing how strong you are now in comparison to then. Beautiful supporting energy, protection. You are protected. You remembering that you've come so far, and to kind of lean on that, your progress that you've already made, lean on that and allow that to support you to go to this next step, to go to this next phase of progressing, to go to this next phase of moving out of one space into another. So we have Six of Swords, exactly what I'm saying there, of moving away from the kerfuffle, moving away from the chaos of it, moving away from attachment to it in the past, and allowing self to move forward, allowing self to kind of just drift. It's not that pushing feeling, it definitely is loosening things up and drifting into a sweeter space, into a gentle awareness of it, and then able to compassionately see yourself through it. It does literally feel like you're having to take that like boat on a wave, riding the waves gently, carefully, and navigating yourself very particularly. And in that process, having Ten of Swords coming in, I'm seeing a particular kind of Ten of Swords when there are energies of being kind of gashed and stabbed and whatever, and it's like it looks like there's no coming back from it. So at that point, that's why if you look back at where you were and you're aware of where you are now, you'll see that you actually did come back from it. You have made progress to the point that now you may not even recognize who you were then. That is the past. That is feeling as though it's when you were at that point of you're not going to make it back from there. And you felt like you were never going to be able to get yourself off the floor. You were never going to get yourself back onto the horse. You were never going to get yourself back into a position of moving forward. And you didn't know where to move forward. You didn't know how to move forward. You just didn't. It just felt like I don't know how to deal with this. But you did. You found a way, and that's because you're protected. You found a way of moving past it. You found a way of rising above it. And in doing that is now to utilise that awareness. So to kind of trust that you're safer than you felt before, to kind of trust that you're wiser than you were before. And in that wisdom, you're going to see certain things that you did that are going to benefit you now for the next leg. Because those things that you were doing before, you're going to need those to move forward now to the next space of here. So when you felt like you were on the floor and you weren't going to get up, what did you do to get yourself up? What did you do to get your momentum up? And now it's doing that, to using that, utilising that to catapult yourself to the next level, to the next space. But it's without force. It's with a gentle, loving kind of energy. It's with an awareness of I was down, really down at some point, yet I got through it. I found a way. I found a thought. I found a anchor. I found someone. I found something. I found a time that's just kind of. And the thing is with this is those things that we use to numb ourselves that are not the healthiest for us. It's about going beyond that as well. Not using the same things to numb self. Not using the same things to avoid the reality of it, because things aren't the same as they used to be. They're not. You're out of that space where you had to numb yourself now. So it's about getting up with the courage and strength that you have and you had within you, but at the time you just couldn't access it. So now accessing that greater energy, and you've got the King of Cups coming in. So it does feel like there's a there's a masculine kind of loving self. So this is coming through as it's your feminine, your masculine within you, and your masculine space kind of being a bit more gentle when it comes to doing things. So if it was that you need to do A, B and C, it's like, right, put them in order of priority. And if you're not feeling up to doing A, B and C right now, C may be the top priority. So you take care of C first, and you just keep working at C, knowing that you will get to B and A, but right now the priority is C. Keep going. And then when you've completed C, you'll feel good that you've completed it in the correct time and all that stuff. And then moving on to the next one, which may be A or B, wherever it is, you get my point. And then the clarity around that is going to help you understand. Feel into the emotions of what it feels like when you've completed that task, when you've put things into priority, when you've assessed what do I need to do first. When that overwhelm comes up, actually able to stop, assess the situation, assess the priorities, and feel into the empowerment of that, feel into the process of that, because that is your winning ticket. That is where you is going to be different from the Ten of Swords space, because the Ten of Swords space was kind of chicken, kind of chopped head kind of vibe, and just running around like a headless chicken and not quite know which way to go. It's just a matter of get away from that threat, get away from this situation, get away from this this agonizing energy, get away from this agonizing emotion. There wasn't rhyme or reason to actually a lot of the stuff that was happening then. It was just a matter of soothing this this excruciating pain or this excruciating realization or whatever it was. At that point it was a very different vibe. So now you have the luxury of being a bit more tempered. You have the luxury of being able to be more mindful and aware of the process in which you're going through now to get through certain difficult things. Like I said, there is going to be, for some people, Uranus having Jupiter draw closer and closer and closer to it in Taurus. So Taurus is a very, very earth, like solid, kind of tangible 3D energy, and it's kind of not kind of is it's going to need you to kind of be flexible and surrender to certain things for things to move the way they need to move. So this is why I'm saying the masculine energy feels as though it's definitely saying take that rest. When you have priorities, make sure you're honouring that you're actually taking the time to put things in a priority order, so you know that, right, so when I'm doing C, focus fully on C. B and A can be done later, but I need to complete C. It may be time sensitive, it may be whatever it is. It may be that it's just the first priority on your list of things to do. So doing C, and doing C with awareness of how have I moved forward, how have I progressed, and then making sure that as you're doing C, the time that you would have been trying to do B and trying to do A as well, making sure you're using that time, because you put them in priority, C first, and then instead of trying to attack B and attack A as well at the same time, it's making sure that you have ample rest. You're making sure that you're taking time to rest. Whereas before it may have been, right, I've done some of C, now I need to do a bit of B and I need to do a bit of A. It's not going to work that way in your favour. So making sure that you put it aside. It seems really... it seems simple and blatant. It seems really like a bit condescending, and I don't mean it to come that way. It's just literally making sure that you're making a conscious effort of, this is a priority, this is the one I'm going to do, complete, and then move it along. B and C don't feel as necessary to be do B first, then A. So it kind of feels like B and A can be a bit more flexible in how you're approaching them, but C, for some reason, it just keeps coming up that it is needing to be done. It has to be done first. Put it as a priority. Get it sorted, whatever that is for you. I don't know. Well, I don't, but you might. So the thing is, this rest, it's going to be supporting you. You may be having vivid dreams, you may be having vivid images and flashbacks and things like that. Again, it's that Ten of Swords where we got ourselves in such a tizwas, we got ourselves stuck in a particular way of reacting and responding to things. So this is the purpose of prioritising things and tackling the most important first, isolating it from the other things that are on the next list, or the next part of the list. So as we prioritise that one and we go ahead and do it, there are certain things that are going to be coming up, because your system, your mind, your thinking, your cognitive awareness is not going to be as adjusted to this way of doing it. So it's about, when you calm yourself down and you actually just focus on what you need to do next, taking that time to rest and make it, because as you're resting, you're going to be disentangling yourself from this. I remember this particular energy coming up years ago and thinking then, this thing was coming up in the reading, and it's like, this is going to take quite a long time to get to this point, and this was in the other channel. So this is coming up now in such a fabulous, gorgeous space, because if you're following the process of it, of like, right, so prioritize C, focus on C. When you can't work on C anymore, rest. that is the opposite. Sorry, that is the opposite to what you may have done before, of like trying to get B and A done first. So your system, your reactions, your responses are not going to be used to this, and it's going to be forced to take a different look at it. It's going to be forced to take a different approach to things. And then when you're like, well, I've got to do A and I've got to do B, it's like take your time and just steady yourself. And it's like, but I don't have to do those two until then, so I can relax, because there's no immediate requirement for it now. It's not that it has to be done right now. So the way I'm seeing it is there's certain foods, and then this food has to be eaten before that one, because the eat by date or sell by date is coming up on that one. But that one, you've got another 2-3 weeks for it, and it's like, well, you can leave that there. You've got 2-3 weeks, just relax. You can't eat all of them at once, but you can eat B with A, but you can't eat C later, because it's going to spoil, it's going to ruin, and that means your resources, your energy of getting it, acquiring it, shopping for it, whatever it is, making it, it's going to be wasted. So making sure that C is consumed first, you're dealing with C first. B and A, like I said, they've got a few more weeks, they've got a longer shelf life, so you can kind of take your time with those ones. So in that time, it's resting, and that resting is vital to this process here of disentangling yourself from here. So the King of Cups coming in, prioritize. As you prioritize, remember you are protected, and you're going to get certain insight. Not only are you getting the insight, but you're going from a bit of a scrappy-do kind of energy into a calmer energy, and like privatizing. This is going to then, because of this that's happened here, you're going to need that time to heal from that now, from in a deeper space within. That healing time is going to disentangle you from these Eight of Swords, where you've got yourself in that tangle, where you've got yourself in that sense, I don't know why, friction, I'm hearing friction, that sense of friction. So it's not necessarily well, it could be the friction of yourself, but the thing is, it needs calm, and also it could be friction with others. Are you like, anyway, let's move on. So that friction needs to dissipate, that friction needs to calm right down. Resting, the energetic entanglements, the energetic knots that I was mentioning earlier, those are the things that need to be released and processed now. So you can't do too many things at once. It really just keeps flashing and going. Deep, beep, beep. Privatize. Most important thing first. Focus on that to completion, and then make sure that other things get done after that. It's about trusting yourself to be able to do it. It's about trusting yourself to manage your time appropriately, to manage your resources, manage yourself appropriately. Because, like I said, in the past, there was a time when it was 10 of Swords just firing at you, and you just felt like a cat on a hot tin roof. It was kind of all things just go, and you didn't have a chance to think, you didn't have a chance to recuperate and rest. This feels like quite a long while ago. It does feel like a significant time ago, and it's just really strange how I'm seeing, I've probably moved twice since then, but seeing that very particular image of this has to move in some way. So you want to be planting from a healthier space when you've rested. You want to be planting having dealt with these. So from this, again, repurposing this pain into wisdom, into knowledge, into awareness of how to move forward. Like that time you were responding in a certain way because there were certain threats around you. Now you have a particular awareness, you have a particular way of operating, that if that same threat was to come near you, you'd have the know-how, you'd have the ability to just step away from it and distance yourself from it. Whereas at that time you weren't aware of how lethal it was on some level, so you didn't have the know-how of how to actually step away from it. So now you're in a different position. It's about understanding that and really honing in on that for your own benefit. So the Lovers is coming in here, so it's harmonise where you've been disconnected from yourself. There's certain times when your inner masculine, inner feminine, energies, they show up as really, really fractured and broken and shattered. So this coming in around here right now, it just really feels like this is again another opportunity to have some more of the feminine masculine energies integrate. So where you've been disconnected from yourself, your higher self, your fuller higher potential, you that fracture, that split that within yourself is now able to heal if you make sure that you take the time to rest, you take that time to make some progress, some slow, steady, purposeful progress, and then rest. And in that resting period is going to be when you disentangle from this, because the density of the entanglement is so strong and so tightly bound that it's going to take a particular kind of attention to be able to feel safe, to feel nurtured, to feel protected, to be able to enter this realm and be able to release it, to be able to go from the more scary water, shall we say, to the more easy flowing and calmer water. So really paying attention to the way you're managing things, the way you're managing yourself, and what is coming up for you, because as you're doing this, it is going to be different to how you responded before. You're going to think of it differently, just taking that moment to stop. I've got another one fly out, look at that. To stop and give yourself that loving care, give yourself that attention you require to heal. This feels like it's concluded, but I'm going to put another one here just to make sure we support this Four of Swords, resting. You've been through a battle, you've been through it may have been it may have been a battle, but was it the war is coming up? Wow. Okay, I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it's not for me to assume. Let me just get this other card. It's being very picky. Resting, priorities, love, harmony, peace, calm, shanti. So it feels as though now I'm drawn to this. It's creating the conditions in which you can actually grow something of worthwhile, creating the conditions of where you're actually able to sense and feel the subtle energies of love flowing, creating the environment where you are able to harmonise between the masculine and feminine. So interestingly enough, my next essay is about this very thing. 2,000 words on how to create the correct environment for the healing process. Timing, gorgeous. There we go. I don't know why I feel so happy to see that, but I do. Alchemy. Sending love. Sending genuine love, because when you think about how precious that is to get you out of this, to be able to start building in that way, the level of alchemy that hasn't just come overnight. Well, on some level it has, but it's where you've disconnected from that beautiful process of alchemizing things, where you've disconnected from trusting in your skills or trusting in your process. This is the renewal part. This is the insight. This is the rest is important for this alchemizing process. It really supports where it's going. I feel like I need a card over here. So really trusting the process, but it's building that trust in yourself, building that intuition and instinctive skill again. There you go. See, I'm so emotional right now. Really sending love. Enjoy this process. It's going to be so liberating. It's going to be so rewarding when you do this. As you're doing it, even thinking about it is rewarding. You can feel it. It's just it's a bit of a white knuckle ride. So gently, with compassion, with love, with consideration. There. So right now the Six of Wands has come in upside down, but that feels as though it's because we're leading up to this process, leading up to this this way of approaching something. So that is going to turn the other way around. It's just right now you've got to do the appropriate resting, you've got to do the appropriate self-care. And again, like I said, the self-care it's not going to be it's not light. It's literally making sure that you're stopping and taking that time to rest when you need to rest. Moon, your emotions are going to guide you. Your emotions are going to give you insight. Not to be scared of them. Step forward, face them, process them, deal with them. Let them inform you of where to go next. For some of you, I do feel like there's some energy of being stuck in certain places, or there's like certain spots or certain energies of knots, spots, I don't know why I'm saying spots, of being stuck in shock or stuck in absolute disbelief. And this is where it's going to get shuffled around, it's going to get juggled around. So the Seven of Wands, having that conflict within, that conflict feels like it is where you were conflicted in the past. Now you have a more assured sign of where you're going. You have a more assured feeling of where you're going. You're going in the correct direction for you. So this conflict where it's like before it was, should I go this way or should I go that way? You're going to be more assured of which is the correct direction for you. But again, being gentle and kind, because to get to that assured moment, to get to that feeling of I'm sure that this is the direction I've got to go to, you're going to have to go through this process to be able to get to that clarity. But you can get there, and you will get there, as long as you keep resting between and just really being it's like considered and conscious of what you're doing and how you're doing it, when you're doing it, where you're doing it, with whom you're doing it. Yeah, it's really, really gorgeous vibe. And then go step ahead, knowing where to step ahead, knowing where to take those next steps, knowing how to take those next steps, knowing if to even take those next steps, because some things may just now be removed from the equation. They may be removed from the options. So this is why, I don't know why it is this way, but it definitely feels like the next thing you're dealing with requires your undivided attention. It requires you being really confident and eliminating any negative energies, any negative responses to it. So this is why it probably feels like it's like a core starting point. And so from what you learn from there, then you'll have A and B to contend with, to deal with. So then with A and B is kind of like expanding on what you experienced on dealing with C. So through that process, then you're going to be learning how to deal with more than one of these things, which are requiring quite a lot of attention and devotion from you. So then it's like making sure you start with the one, Then once you've mastered that and you're understanding that better, or you're beginning to master it, should I say, then you're going to have 2 come in, and the 2 things that you're dealing with, doing that so that you're able to manage 2, and then from there you can go to 3 and 4. And then once you've got the certain process, it's like learning to ride a bike. You've got to know which foot is going forward, which foot is pushing down, which foot is letting the other one push down. So it's kind of like that process, and I know I've done that before as well in the last channel at a certain point. Interesting vibes coming up. So there's a lot of recapping going on. There you go, Page of Pentacles. The new way of doing things is a new way of putting time, energy, resources available for yourself. And I am drawn to this string of pearls here. Interesting. I am being drawn to the string of pearls. So with the pearls, definitely love that vibe and energy because of the peacefulness of it and the calm and femininity of it. So just being gentle and calm and easy with the pearls, being gentle and calm with the emotions to make sure that you benefit from it the best you can for yourself. And for that, I knew I should have put them down today again. Oh, they're all knotted. We'll put them all down. There we go. That nice pearly energy with some green aventurine. Right, so if you'd like a personal reading, it's 108gate@gmail.com. If you do not want to hear the tuning forks, then now is the time to say goodbye to you. Those of you who do want the tuning forks, here we go. So for now, peace and love.